guys, welcome back to another video, and it is week 6 of college football, and there's a lot of good games to look at, so let's get right into it. Our first game, Maryland at number 4 Ohio State. Ohio State, they've been looking pretty good this year, maybe not as good as I expected, but Ryan Day has done a great job this year with Marvin Harrison Jr. still being on the team. They're doing a great job right now. It's going to be tough versus Maryland, and Maryland is a pretty good team. This is at home. I think Ohio State should do what it's expected of them and get this win versus Maryland, 38-23 Ohio State. Next game, we got number 23 LSU versus number 21 Missouri, and this is at Missouri. Missouri is undefeated. LSU is not. They actually have 2 losses right now. This could be a tight battle. It is at LSU, and surprisingly, I don't know if we had ever said this at the beginning of the season, but LSU Missouri is number 21 in the rankings, and LSU is number 23, which is crazy. So, is LSU actually the underdog? Probably not. Which I have them getting the win over Missouri, 38-24 on the road, even though they're underdogs by rankings. But I have them getting the win on the road. Next game, we got 13 Washington State at UCLA. And UCLA lost Zach Charbonnet and Dorian Thompson-Robinson to the NFL. So UCLA is looking a lot slower than they did last year. They're not undefeated. They're not even ranked right now. Versus number 13, a huge sleeper team, Washington State. They're undefeated right now. They're looking really good. I have them, I wouldn't say upsetting, but they do get the win, 28-17 on the road at UCLA. Next game, we got 12 Oklahoma versus number 3 Texas. Texas, great job so far this year. They're ranked number 3. That's pretty good. Beating Alabama. The addition of A.D. Mitchell, transfer from Georgia. They're looking really good right now. Quinn Ewers is doing really good. I have them getting a win by 3 points versus Oklahoma. This is a huge rivalry game as well. Oklahoma's undefeated. They're ranked number 12. But it's going to be so close. They're not going to get it done. I have Texas 30-27 at home. Next game, or is it actually the Texas-Oklahoma game? I think it's a neutral site game. So it's a neutral site game. It's going to be really close. But Texas gets the win, 30-27. As I did not know that. I just realized that it is a neutral site game. Next game, we got Syracuse at 14 North Carolina. North Carolina, Drake May, doing really good this year. They're undefeated. They're ranked number 14, which is pretty good. It's crazy they're ranked behind Washington State. But we're playing Syracuse. Syracuse has a really tough defense. It's not gonna be good enough though to beat North Carolina. Just as what expected right here. 31-10 North Carolina. Next game we got Alabama, who's ranked number 11, at Texas A&M, and I think it was a couple years ago, Alabama played at Texas A&M and lost 41-38 by a field goal. I think it was a pretty underrated upset right there. And then last year they barely won at home, 24-20. I think A&M was at the 1 or 2 yard line and threw the football on the last play of the game as they ended up losing. This year it's back at Texas A&M. It's going to be tough for Bama. Jalen Monroe. He did good last week, proving the doubters wrong that thought Tyler Buchner was going to be the starting quarterback for Bama like the rest of the year or something. But I have Jalen Monroe getting the win, 27-13 Alabama. Next game, we got number 20 Kentucky versus number 1 Georgia. Kentucky, Ray Davis, a heck of a performance last week, 280 yards on the ground versus Florida, and I think maybe 3 or 4 touchdowns, as Kentucky ended up getting the win by, I'm not sure how it was, but it was a good amount. They got the win at home. That was a rowdy game, but this time they're playing at Georgia, which is going to be tough. Georgia, I'm pretty sure every single game this year, they have started off slow, which is what they can do, because now, as we saw last week, and versus South Carolina, they played Auburn and South Carolina. They've already learned they can't start out slow, but they still have been starting out slow. They can't start out slow at home like this. this is going to be a good environment for Georgia, as they got to start out good where they can get momentum, and then Georgia, the second half team, can just take a rocket ship straight up and win the game, which I have them doing 30-14 Georgia. In the last couple weeks, I predicted Georgia to hold their opponent to probably under 10 points. I've been wrong. Their defense has not been doing good. They got to step up, which I have them doing. I guess you'd say that, leaving up 14 points, but 30-14 Georgia. Next game, we got 10, Notre Dame at number 25, Louisville. Louisville is a good team. I think they're undefeated. They might have one loss. I could be wrong on that, though. Louisville, I would also say it's a sleeper team at Louisville. If you saw the Notre Dame game last week, they barely beat Duke. And I mean barely. Sam Hartman runs the football on 4th down and 16, gets a first down. Then Notre Dame runs the ball as they're trying to chew clock, but they ended up scoring a touchdown. Notre Dame wins at Duke. Well, I have Notre Dame getting upset this week. I had them getting upset last week, but they did not. They proved me wrong, just barely. Well, I have Louisville getting the win 38-37 by 1 point over Notre Dame. Next game, we got Arkansas at Ole Miss. And Ole Miss beat LSU last week in an absolute great game. It was like 55-49, something like that. A really close game. Came down to the final play of the game. Ole Miss is a really good football team right now. Quinshon Judkins doing really good, and he's a sophomore. He's going to be back next year. Man, that's scary. Ole Miss, I have them getting the win over Arkansas. KJ Jefferson, they almost beat LSU a couple weeks ago, but I have Ole Miss getting the win 41-27 in a kind of high-scoring game. Next game, we got Virginia Tech at 5, Florida State. Florida State, Jordan Travis, a phenomenal defense. This Florida State team is looking really solid versus Virginia Tech, who I don't think is the greatest of teams. Not going to be good enough to beat Florida State. I have Florida State 35-16 Seminoles. In our final game, we got Wake Forest at Clemson. Clemson, they've been doing okay this year, I'll say that. They lost to Duke and Florida State, which is not great, versus Wake Forest. And you know how Wake Forest is. They can get upsets every now and then. They're an ACC team. It's going to be close, really close actually. Going to come down to maybe the last couple of possessions, but I have Clemson holding them out, getting the win, 23-17. The Tigers getting the win. Thank you guys for watching this Wiggins football predictions video. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you on the next one.